Hello my dear friends, today we will discuss the most important updates of the week: situation on the front line, the situation with the German cruise missiles Taurus, the hunt on the Russian FSB spies in Ukraine, the new defense aid to Ukraine from the United States, and other news. You're watching the Frontline Focus. I'm Operator Starsky. Let's roll. First of all, the skies over Ukraine have been filled with drones and missiles. On July 8th and 9th, Russia launched a record-breaking attack: 728 drones and 13 missiles in a single night. Ukrainian air defense shot most of them down, but some still got through, hitting cities like Lutsk and Lviv in the west. Those are areas that used to be safer. Then just a few days later, on July 12th, Russia did it again, this time sending almost 600 drones and 26 missiles. At least 2 people were killed and 20 injured. Homes, schools and government buildings were damaged. In Kharkiv, a drone even hit a maternity hospital. Thankfully, no one got killed, but it was a terrifying moment for the staff, mothers and newborns inside. Switching to the front lines, Russia is kinda trying to push really hard in eastern Ukraine, especially around cities like Kupiansk and Pokrovsk, and we have information that they're trying to take more territory in Donetsk. However, Ukrainian officials say that it's not realistic for Russia to capture the entire Donetsk region by the end of the year. In the north, near Kharkiv, there's concern that Russia might create a so-called buffer zone. But Ukraine is fighting back. The air defense teams are doing an absolutely impressive job, and they are adding new drone interceptors. Kyiv just spent over $6 million on a new drone defense system, which has already shot down hundreds of Russian drones. Germany is also stepping in. They're buying more US-made Patriot missile systems to help protect Ukraine from these constant Russian air attacks. Also, I would like to clarify one important thing regarding the long-range Taurus missiles. Germany has decided not to send these missiles to Ukraine, but there's still good news. Germany is funding development of Ukraine's own long-range missiles. This plan was announced earlier in May, and around that time the funding began. By the end of July, Ukraine is set to receive the first batch of domestically made missiles. Hundreds more will come later. Why does this matter? These missiles can fly hundreds of kilometers deep into Russian territory, hitting key targets like command centers, airfields and supply bases. These missiles will be able to reach not only Moscow, but also much more distant Russian location. So instead of giving away Taurus, Germany is basically backing Ukraine's own weapons industry. Ukraine Security Service, the SBU, just carried out a big special operation in the Kyiv region. They found and eliminated 2 suspected Russian FSB spies, a man and a woman, who allegedly killed SBU Colonel Yurii Voronych in Kyiv on 10th of July. These agents were reportedly ordered by their FSB handler to follow the colonel, track his routine, and then go to a hidden stash to pick up a silenced pistol. They used this weapon to assassinate him in broad daylight. After the killing, they tried to disappear, but Ukrainian intelligence, led by SBU Chief Lieutenant General Vasyl Maluk, teamed up with National Police of Ukraine, tracked them down in Kyiv Oblast, and when SBU agents tried to arrest them, the suspects opened fire. So Ukrainian forces returned fire and eliminated them both. In addition to that, the intelligence data shows that Russia is using migrants recruited via Telegram to carry out sabotage across Europe. The aim of such operations is to spread fear, destabilize society, and erode trust in European governments. Basically, same old story. The Czech intelligence service reports also highlight how exactly Russia uses the Russian Orthodox Church as part of their hybrid warfare. These so-called Telegram recruits often come through middlemen, usually unaware that they're working for the Russian terrorists, and as we can see, Russian aggression spreads way beyond the front lines in Ukraine. The US Senator Lindsey Graham says that in the next few days we are going to see a record flow of weapons to help Ukraine defend itself. He made these comments during a CBS News interview, calling this a turning point in the war. Graham explained the US plans to sell advanced weapons to European allies, who will then transfer the weapons to Ukraine. Congress is also close to approving the toughest sanctions ever on Russia, including 500% tariffs on countries that still continue buying Russian oil, like China, India, and Brazil. Graham said Putin miscalculated, thinking that US and Europe would tire out, but instead NATO is stronger and more united than ever. And finally, Graham confirmed that Trump will use his drawdown authority, around $3.8 billion, to send US weapons right away with fresh support from allies. So, my dear friends, as we can see, last week in Ukraine was tough, but we still have a bunch of, I would say, encouraging updates. And with that, my dear friends and family, I wish you all a beautiful day. Please subscribe to stay informed about the most important updates and share this content to help Ukraine be heard. My name is Operator Starsky. Thanks for watching.